So yeah.
Can we go back to Miss Frizzle and Mrs. Incredible?
Oh dear God.
Welcome back to the DimeComics
No!
podcast.
We are
No, we are not doing a cold open.
No.
No.
Not like that.
We removed the horny, then the horny comes back.
Remove the
The
horny.
horn is always.
Yes.
Just keep the horny.
We do
entire-
not start off with the horn dog that strong.
Why not? So, welcome back to the DimeComicbros podcast.
Why buy a comic? You might get a surprise. Santa's coming soon, so you all better be nice.
I am one of your co-hosts, Spencer. I am joined by Collin,
Hi.
the special boy, and Jacob, Mr. Microphone Man.
This is gonna be a nightmare to edit.
I think there's a clean enough break in there. There's just a big chunk you can.
Let me just talk about what we were just talking about. And
Yeah, no. So this episode. You can't help yourself, can you?
you can help yourself in the last podcast.
That is true. That is true.
Rachel was like,
What
"Whoa,
can-
I'm not doing that."
What can I say? I take after you. I take after your best attributes.
You do.
Yeah. So this week we watched The Incredibles 2, which was written and directed by Brad Bird. Some 15 years later after the last one.
The Birdman.
It takes place immediately following the events of the first movie. And they do the stuff and things. So I watched this in theaters when it came out.
Me too.
Superheroes are illegal, and someone wants to make them legal, so they have Elastigirl as their poster child.
They're hot
Their
mommy.
poster girl.
Their poster mom.
Mhm.
And then she does things, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll put a camera on your titties."
Mm.
They literally do that. You can't even give me shit for
It's
saying
not
that.
on her titties. It's above the titties.
It's like not even collarbone. Come on.
It was on boob. Okay, listen. I have titties. I have titties, right?
Yeah,
I have titties,
yeah,
right?
You do. Oh,
So
I know you
if
do.
it's right here, that's still my tit.
Yeah.
It's here, still
Yeah.
my tit. This is collarbone. No, I'm telling you because I can feel it.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
tit.
That's boob, not tit. Tit is the actual tit.
That's a nip.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Basically, Helen gets a job being a superhero, and Bob stays at home and does dad things. And that's like the whole movie.
Baby does baby things.
Baby does
Baby
do
goes,
baby things.
mama.
So yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
I don't like you.
He gets so focused when he does that. He just like lasers in like.
Ba, ba.
To be fair, the guy that was in that like very large prosthetic suit also had to focus when he was doing that.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And then the guy in the prosthetic suit booped the chick's nose and like couldn't laugh when he did it.
There is no end. The bloopers for that must have been fucking hysterical.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's what I pictured. Like as soon as he booped the nose, or she booped the nose.
Editing is magic.
Yeah, they immediately cut it right after that.
Yeah,
Kid was
they're just
laughing
fucking
right
dying.
after.
Right.
Anyways, away from Barbarian. Yeah, so this was a very, 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 very long wait for one of, I would say, pretty much unanimously Pixar's best movie, or one of, like, definitely the fan favorite. It's also one of their largest financial successes.
It's also one of the most.
Oh my god!
It is one of the most well-known like superhero movies.
Yes, and it was around
Ever.
before the real big superhero boom. It was like in the middle of the pre-boom boom. You know, the Blade and Spider-Man and X-Men.
I
days.
think you've also
Incredible
said
Hulk.
that The Incredibles like helped boom the movie like
Oh yeah,
superhero
for
movie
sure.
industry.
Like this was alongside the Blade and Spider-Man movies. Like this was the original movie was part of like the first big. Oh shit, we can make money off of these losers. And it just for a 14-year wait, it was definitely fun to watch in theaters. I think it's much better as like a watching experience with other people because I watched this a couple of years ago with just myself, and it was like,
Meh.
yeah, it's fun to commentate over, mostly because we're just horny posting the whole time. But
I went in the theaters and watched it, and I was oogling the whole time.
That's nice.
Oogling.
The technological upgrade is so obvious from the first nanosecond. The texture work and the lighting is so much better than the first movie, which still does hold up really well. I mean, we talked about it a month ago. The technology from the first movie holds up really well. The artistry is there, but this is almost night and day.
This has 20 years more technology.
Yeah, it's bonkers. But I think the thing, so Collin has retarded hot takes and is like, nah, this one's better. My response to that is,
I did not say that.
You did.
You did say it's better.
I said I enjoy it more.
Fine, I'll take the nuanced take. I will say it's probably a more enjoyable viewing experience because it's more. It's definitely
greedy.
It's funnier and it's better to look at, but it's not. The villain fucking sucks. The villain is lame and not memorable whatsoever. The
technology is evil.
The vague. I find having a theme that's kind of tied to the first movie, and the unique setting of one being the 50s/60s and superheroes being illegal and stuff that's interesting, but it retreads a lot of ground to the first movie, and just, I don't know, Syndrome is an obnoxious little dickwad, but he's memorable as hell. And I don't even remember this villain's actual person name. She's just the lady. Yeah, and it's it feels
Screensaver.
Yeah, that's the villain.
Slaver.
Yeah, it just.
What did I say?
Saber.
Lightsaber.
Yes.
The lightsaber under your mom's bed?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, she's got some pink purple one. It's really short though. I feel like she got the Yoda version, but I think she
Smells a little
meant
funny.
to get the regular one.
It's still sticky. It's definitely it feels like this one is a lot more of a spectacle. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The action set pieces are bigger and the technology's cool and the laughs are louder, but
and the suits
and
the lighting.
It feels kind of hollow. The first movie had plenty of weaknesses in terms of some of the dialogue was rough and some of the characters aren't as developed as other characters, and obviously technological stuff, but I don't think of The Incredibles 2 whenever anyone mentions these characters.
Yeah, no.
I think of some of the images because a lot of the memes were funny, but I don't think of if someone walks up to me and says,
I'm giving a stank face, by the way.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I think someone walked up and they're like, Mr. Incredible. I'm not thinking about this movie at all. I might think of a joke from the movie, but it doesn't.
I think that was what spoiled me on playing the Lego Incredibles, because I was super excited to play that, and I opened it up and it was all set pieces from the second movie, and I was like, "What is this?"
It's
I don't even remember this.
It's not because it's bad, and it's not even because it's mediocre. It's totally serviceable.
Wait,
but when you go from there's a Lego Incredibles game. When you go from arguably one of the best Pixar movies and also one of the best superhero movies of all time, that is a classic and everyone's childhood staple, and then you go to it's serviceable and funny, it feels kind of dumbed down. It doesn't when I left the theater, I was giggling, but I didn't feel impacted in any other way. It doesn't stick.
Okay, so here's my take on this, is that I feel or both Incredibles have this noir aspect to it. That's just what it is.
Yes.
But the first one definitely has more of this world building feeling, because of all these old superheroes, and every superhero, old superheroes, dead. That's basically what happened.
Right.
It's so world changing, and there are a lot of massive things that happen in this in the first movie. All the superheroes are dead. There's basically only a handful of existence from the old times, and superheroes are illegal, so there's no real new superheroes. And then we have Syndrome, who is the master plan. He is the child of two superheroes, and he kills them first. And to create that whole giant robot dude and blah blah blah, and then we have all these iconic pieces like the giant fucking robot, the Mr. Incredible mobile. We have we have Elastigirl's ass. You know, I mean, I'm joking,
iconic imagery. No, I see what you mean.
But you know what I mean. It does. There's so much like. It feels massive. It feels big. It feels changing. And then we get to the second movie, and I can see why people don't really stick to it because there's not much that actually changes. It's kind of just like it's like it's a Temple of Doom movie.
I vaguely understand what you're saying. I do. But the thing is, everything in the second movie is bigger, but none of it rings as meaning jack shit. Really. Like, for instance, this is immediately after the events of the first movie. Why the fuck now are there like a dozen new heroes that we've never seen or heard of before? And most of them clearly like young people or whatever. So they just crawled out of the woodwork. Like, there's no build up to that, and also, frankly, all of their designs look like shit. I'm sorry, they're all
they do.
The Birdman is funny, but like it's dumb.
I actually think he's the better.
Oh, he's the best of them all, but like it feels out of place. The first movie, there's like the thing I think we all focus on the most is it has a bit of partially because of the setting. It has a lot of a timeless feel to it. It has a lot of universal themes. There's a lot of there's socioeconomics going on. There's family dynamics and stuff. And then this movie's like. It has some of those notes to it. I really like the idea of having Helen take the lead of the movie, and then Bob needs to like learn how to be a parent. I like that.
It's really hard. That's one of the best parts of the movie.
Absolutely,
like,
but
he's stuck at home and having a hard time of it.
And that's really good. I think on occasion they play it a little bit too much for laughs, just a teeny little bit, tiny little bit.
I disagree.
That's just a taste thing.
They take the time to give you the gut punch, though.
Right, but then, like, it feels like there's so much going on in this movie, and it all comes together, and it's like, wow, okay, superheroes are legal now, I guess? Like, okay, and? Like, because it's barely impacted the events of this movie, they're always talking about, like, oh, what she's doing is illegal, and it's like, and there's no repercussions for anything. Like, she gets chased by cops, like, once. Everyone's just going, wow, that's a hot mommy on a bike.
Mm-hmm.
There is no... It feels like the setting isn't as developed.
You glossed over something that I was trying to talk about, but because you took over the conversation.
It's gone now.
I'll take over your balls.
It's not gone because I have to bring it back. But that's why it feels stupid. Because you're taking over the conversation. Character design. We're going way back. I disagree with you on... Actually, no.
The Brickman.
I can't disagree because he didn't actually say this. All the characters designs are more unique physically.
Yes.
To the first one instead of the first one, because the first one, every superhero had the same bodies.
It's just a dude, and then another dude,
and
then
a girl.
chick.
Yeah.
And then another dude.
And they're all the same body types except for the big three.
Right.
But in this, everyone's very different. Very different. And I think that was cool, but also all their color schemes were very gross.
They're very vibrant.
And the first one, all of them had that nice like Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl palettes.
They had they had a similar palette. They were slightly muted. Yes. But like, see, that's the thing is in the first movie and in the sequel, we see all the different statues and like suits in Edna's house / workshop, whatever, and they all look like that like. Background character, god-awful design, it's just there as basically a placeholder type shit. But that's what the rest of the heroes look like in this movie. Like, they stand out and not in like a, wow, that's a cool, unique dude. It's like, did you drop a Skylanders into a Lego kit? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
It takes away... I like how the first movie, despite having really crazy stuff, really cool robots...
I feel like a lot of the superheroes had unique costume designs.
Right.
You had Vision Dude and like Cape, a bunch of like Cape guys.
They were able to express the powers through very over the top and goofy designs, but like it felt like they all looked like people.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one's like, nah, this guy's 10 feet tall and has a head that's like a 4x4 square. And it's not really about the color scheme or the fact that this one's an old dude. It's like, it feels like the art style kind of falls apart. Like it feels like they put two different types of action figures together. It's like if you were playing with your Star Wars action figures. They all have crazy different designs and different tunic colors and lightsabers and whatever. but then like you take like a cop from like some random TV show action figure and then like you throw him in the plate. It doesn't mesh well. There was I don't have the art words for it, but like there was a type of homogeny to how the fuck do you say that word? I don't remember.
Homage?
No.
Homogeneous?
There was a homogeneous feel to the first movie, but within the designs, it felt like they were all expressive. Also because most of them were done by Edna. So, like, they fit the person, but they felt like superheroes. Whereas this one, they feel like fantasy characters. Kind of. They're so... Okay, so this guy's head can just turn around infinite times. Like, where the fuck did that come from?
The owl guy.
The owl guy. His head just spins, like,
So?
infinitely.
Power. That's a superpower thing.
But in the first movie, we're shown all these people with basically just Jack being the exception. They're all in that realm of like, I can
people with
It
They-
feels like the old school Watchmen.
kind of
yeah.
right, like where it's like,
Okay,
wow,
yes.
so she stretches, so like her just like there's a way you can explain that in your head with pseudoscience, obviously.
Yep.
And like, oh, he's really strong. Wow.
Okay.
And then this movie, it's like,
Okay.
so this dude generates infinite amounts of pus in his throat that he lights on fire inside his own body and vomits.
Yeah.
That's it. Just it.
So I understand, but also,
Superheroes go.
no, hold on. What's the word? I'm waiting for it. So I understand,
Miss Frizzle.
but weak fucking take. Weak ass fucking take. First off, superheroes, superpowers, but also like
You give me shit for
you can
using that
no,
excuse.
you can no. It is a fucking weak ass take because I can explain that this superhero has forever laser beams coming out their eyes, or like forever stretch, or superpowers, or forever can make force. I can generate force fields out of myself, but this guy can't make infinite pus come out of his stomach.
It just doesn't feel intuitive, and that is a subjective thing. Obviously, I'm not saying that's an objective thing, but
I feel like you
doesn't-
should just be saying, I don't like these characters, and I don't like their superpowers, and I don't like how they look. That's basically
Well, that's
it.
what I said. Like, I like how
No,
they're.
because you're trying to make reasons, like factual reasons, but it's not how.
I'm
It's not at all.
explaining my opinion instead of saying art bad. I'm trying to explain why I feel the way I feel. What an idea.
You're explaining how you feel this way, but you're trying to make it factual, which makes it
It's
wrong.
called post hoc justifying. I'm well aware what
and
it
it's
is.
wrong because it's weak.
Yeah, you weak. Do you like these characters?
I like a lot of them actually.
Can you explain any of it?
Poidol.
Why do I need to explain? They're superpowers. They're superheroes.
Well,
It's
if you're
not that
if
deep.
If you're
It's the Incredibles. It's not that deep.
well, that's the thing. Is the first movie is actually pretty complex.
Yes.
It's very easy to read and it's digestible, but it's got a good bit going on. This one kind of doesn't. It like
Okay.
wants you to think it does, and it's like, whoa, look, we have
Parenting.
when you boil it all down, you remove the flashy colors and all that stuff. It's kind of just, wow, dad isn't good parent and baby go burr jokes. And like, that's fine because they're funny. I'm not saying that they're not funny, but it's like, it doesn't have the internal like character consistency to back up such weird events.
I think they should have made the dad a little bit more of an asshole.
Really?
So he was kind of an asshole in the first one, and like he learned that maybe I should actually tell my wife about these things because it looks like I'm having an affair. That's the story.
Right.
Is that he's having an affair. In this, it's my wife's doing better than me. What the fuck? He should have.
No, I'm looking at your shirt.
Oh, okay.
So many details.
Yes.
I see what you mean. I wouldn't say necessarily
because I think that would help with the story. Because I feel like it is half-assing it. The story is half-assing in the fact of like they are doing the dad's jealous of his wife, and also he's just not good at parenting. I think they should have been more of an asshole about him being jealous, and they shouldn't. And like him being bad at parenting, I
That
think
would be going backwards from the first movie, though.
no, because he's learning.
A little
It's
bit.
sort of.
because he already has that in his brain that he's still in the arc of learning to be better.
Well, growth is non-linear in real life, anyways.
Yes.
Obviously, movies, stories typically kind of straighten it out and make it an upwards line. But like, I see what you mean. I wouldn't say necessarily make him meaner type.
No,
but
not meaner, but more like make him not meaner than the first one. Meaner than what he is now. Make him as mean as he was in the first one. Because remember when he was leaving for his business trip, and what he did was he was getting ready. He was in his nice car and he's leaving, and his wife is obviously a little in distress, and he literally does not give a shit.
See, what I'm...
He's just like, I'm the cool guy now.
What I think you're doing is you're prescribing malice to ignorance. It wasn't because he was a dick in the first movie, it's because he was oblivious.
No, I know!
Well, so what I'm saying is, in this movie, instead of making him more, like, aggressive, however you want to phrase it, I think there's a way to make it come across as more of a genuine exploration of these sorts of things. Whereas when we watch, we said this, when we watch the first movie, and they have that first, like, argument in the middle of the night while he's with, like, him eating the chocolate cake and her pulling the rubble off of his fucking shirt. And it's like, it's kind of hard to watch because it actually feels like watching
That's what I'm saying. They should do that.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's it's not necessarily the tone of the scene or like the way that they phrase their words like as dialogue. It's more of like the script taking the themes more seriously in and of themselves. Because that's the thing, that's what Jacob really liked about it, was like all of their struggles, while they're very hyperbolic, blown up superhero things, is like, yeah, but they're kind of just, it's like marital miscommunications and like probably moderately sexist dad dreaming about the glory days. And it's like, versus this one, it feels a lot more cranked up to 12 instead of it kind of doubling down on what the first movie did well. It makes it bigger, it makes it louder, it makes the jokes funnier, but it kind of pulls away from the emotional potency of that by, I don't know, every time Helen and Bob talk on the phone and he's like sitting there like, oh my gosh, my wife is having fun and I'm stuck here at home and like whatever, like it every single time it's played for a laugh and every time it's funny, but sometimes you should probably not treat every single one as a punchline. Whereas it's like, if you have him...
Okay, hold on. I'm stopping you. Because that's literally the fuck what I'm saying. They're playing it for laughs. And I'm saying that they're half-assing it. That's the half-ass part. Is they're making it a laugh track. That's the half-ass. And by making it not a laugh track, it makes him seem meaner. Or sure, like you helped me say that it wasn't meaner. I meant that it's uncomfortable to watch.
Sure. Words are subjective.
What I'm saying is we're circling in semantics.
I know.
We're agreeing on the same thing. Let's move on.
Yes.
Please. I'm getting bored.
Collin is saying that you are just smelling each other's asses.
Yes.
Like a couple of dogs smelling each other's ass.
Like, no, I think it smells like this. It's like, no, it smells like this.
No, it smells like carrots.
But we're both smelling completely different asses.
I will smell her suit after she's done.
What the fuck?
I'm joking.
There were
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
For the record, he's not.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
definitely joking.
No.
For the record, he is not.
Yeah, no, we know better.
He is sniffing the fuck out of that poon.
We got some great memes out of this movie.
Yes, we did.
Especially Bob sticking his tongue out.
That was so funny in the opening scene when he's spitting out a rock and then his tongue is just huge.
So long.
It's so funny. It's for like 2 frames.
No wonder Mrs. Incredible loves him.
True.
Elastigirl loves that shit.
It is fun to watch, by all means. It's fun. It's the jokes are funny. It's good to poke fun at. It's not overly long. They're pushing it a little bit, but like, it's fun. It's just...
It's a fun romp, but it's not as deep as the first one.
Right, and there's a lot of that which I'm sure is kind of like, there's a bit of nostalgia in that, whereas like we remember that we watched that movie and we interpret it like we did when we were kids. Instead of, it's a blurry line of how much of...
There's a lot of nuance in it that you pick up
Right.
on
I can
as an
tell
adult.
you that I've watched the second one more than the first one.
That's a bit weird, but...
Yeah.
But
there are more butt shots, I will forgive you.
that is why I am watching it for Mrs. Incredible. for Elastigirl.
You are a degenerate.
No, he's
Yes.
not. She's a freak, but he's fine.
Yeah. I think her Elastigirl costume is better than... I really, really hate the Incredibles costumes. I really hate them.
I want to touch him, but also, yeah.
Like,
They look
so
kids.
much better in the second movie.
They do. The textures
like,
are so much better. They do look good on the kids,
And
but
lighting.
I like...
And lighting and, like, the shiny... I like the shiny, but the Elastigirl, like, the symbol looks just so cool. How her design is. She just looks so hot in it. But also, like, Mr. Incredible as, like...
Oh my god.
It just... In his original
my
Incredible
God,
suit. Like,
it's
Mr.
so
Incredible
hot.
suit. It's better.
See, I have feedback for the Pixar animators back in 2002 when they made the movie. Why didn't they keep their suits and then the kids were purple? Put the two colors together. What the fuck?
Yes.
That is my final thought.
Or how about they just be individuals and Violet have like purple and Dash is the red and orange one.
Now, he does look really good in that.
Yeah,
It
he's
does-
perfect.
Well,
I hope they leave the series alone.
speaking of a great fight scene,
Oh, yeah?
we read a book with a great fight scene.
Do A Powerbomb issue 7, the finale to this miniseries, written and illustrated by Daniel Warren Father Johnson.
This man
I
always
should have
knows
done
how
that in an announcer voice. Fuck! It's too late.
This man always knows how to hit me in the feels and also piss me the fuck off.
Haha, he made you angry with God. Very funny.
I'm always
Colin
angry with
finished
God.
it this morning. He was like, I hate this writer. I hate
No.
everything he does.
No, you can't say that.
I've
No,
never loved any
I
of
can't
his
even make you
books."
make a joke. Let you make a joke about that. I can't even let you make a joke about that. I love this writer. Touch my balls, you gay man.
I was trying to get the damn band.
The
There, you got a
drawstring.
dangler. You got a dangler. I was going to pull the Thank you.
Now these are just gonna fall right off because these are actually really big for me.
Yeah, he was
Um,
Urkling them earlier.
I still am. I'm just settling down.
He's wearing them like girl pants. Like, bro, your hips aren't like that. Don't do that. Up to my belly button. You're like you're wearing pants like my mom wanted me to wear them when I was 6.
I have always.
No, your waist is this high. No, mom, I do not have feminine hips. I'm sorry. I do have a feminine ass, but not feminine hips.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's just the fat rolls right there. So
They fight God. God. God.
Go back to how this pissed. Call it off.
This pissed me off because it went exactly where I knew it was going to go, and this is where it should go. It makes sense. It makes
It pissed
sense
you off because
that
it
they
makes
can't.
sense.
Yes.
Wow.
Did you
Because
think they were
because
gonna?
they didn't fight. They didn't defeat God.
Yeah, did you think they were gonna literally kill God in the ring?
No.
No, they were gonna lose, and then God's like, "I am a gracious God. Here's your mommy."
No, I didn't think that was going to happen. I was kind of pissed off that God gave them medals still. I was like, oh, you pissed me. And she's like, I just want my mom. And then I can't remember what the last part was, but I know that we saw
It's just
her.
the moms in the crowd.
Yeah,
Just like,
moms in
oh
the
my
crowd.
God, look at
I'm
my
like,
children.
ugh.
Because they're in like the underworld, basically.
Look at my child
No,
and
my
my
baby.
husband.
Oh my God.
Not children.
Whatever the fuck.
Well,
Women are pedophiles.
Women are pedophiles. Mommy's hot. And also, I saw our boy from Murder Falcon.
Yes,
Of course, he is in the other underworld watching wrestling.
of course. I feel like this issue was kind of short. I think it might just be because of the finale. I believe this was
Yeah.
originally announced to be 6 issues, and then it got extended to 7 when it started
Oh.
coming out. I think. Don't quote me. 7's a weird number. I've mentioned this numerous times, and I think it was
It's
issue.
perfect, you see, because it was a hit that they were gonna fight God from the very beginning.
Yeah,
See?
and it's not number 7.
Yeah,
God
yeah,
number.
I think it was issue 5.
We are retarded.
Yes, you are. I think it was issue 4 or 5 I also mentioned felt a little bit short and kind of like... It just felt like it was only a few pages. It's the same page count as the other ones. I'm not stupid. But it just... It doesn't feel that eventful.
Wow. It's the same. It's just I'm not stupid.
In this sense.
I'm
On
stupid.
this subject.
I'm stupid, but I can count.
You know what I am a little bit butthurt on?
Stupid.
I'm kind of butthurt on the cover.
Why?
It's a nice cover,
It's a great cover.
but it feels like it should be the hardcover or like, yeah, like the book hardcover cover.
I don't know. I feel like the one that they announced...
It feels like it should be the cover for a hardcover. Like, I was expecting, like, a really nice, like, picture of like that his version of God wrestling, and like they're fighting him, or like something like all the other covers, or like a cool one like how he did the snake one.
Did you notice that the cover ran to the back cover?
Yes,
too?
that's why
And it
I'm
was,
saying
all
that.
the characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's a
Yeah.
hardcover. It's a cover for a hardcover.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you take the protection off,
That's what I.
and then
that's
it's
what I
on
was
the it's
asking.
on the cover.
I
Do you
never
get
take
it?
the protection off.
I get rid of the protection immediately.
I have the B cover because I have bought all the B covers for this series.
I don't even know what the B cover looks like. I haven't been able to go get it.
I'm about to tell you to pick it up over there. I like that as a B cover.
Yeah, that's really good. It's just I'm bothered because it's not a Mike. It's Mike. Wow, I was reading Mike Spicer. It's not a Daniel Warren Johnson drawn cover.
Okay, but as the complete package, I think
It's a complete package like me, like my mommy always told me.
it's the job of the additional artists, whether they be colorists, inkers, fucking letterists, or the people doing the B covers, to make up for the faults in the main artwork. So I think that the B cover for issue 7 works best as a finale. That's why I got it. It's been 50-50 on a lot of the B covers, but I think this feels much better as like a final cover.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
It's good. I like. The last page also has the cover for the
Trade.
yeah, the trade, which is coming out in like March or whatever.
Oh, hold on. I have to point this out.
Oh boy.
That's nice.
Oh my gosh.
That is nice. Okay.
Collin, always finding the ass shots.
I am. Didn't you want to see it?
No.
What'd you want from me?
I was going to point out the fucking cover in the back.
That's why I handed it to you.
No, I was going to do it while you were flipping through it. Last page. That's the collected edition cover. That's a good one.
That's the
For a collected
edition?
yes, for the collected edition.
He's gonna jump on mommy.
Can you blame him?
No, cannot blame him. Oh yeah, and then they talk about it's a flashback to her and her mom. Yeah, that was nice. I like that.
I think this is one of his strongest books so far. There are the two issues I mentioned, which do feel a bit on the light side, but I think it holds its pace better than Murder Falcon did, which kind of had a dip in like the second third. Second third. In the issues 3, 4, and 5 were kind of the pacing kind of slowed down.
I'd have to reread it. I don't agree.
Beta Ray Bill is very great, but it is also surrounded by other things which kind of detract from the story a little bit. A little.
Definitely.
It's literally a spin-off of another fucking book.
Yeah?
Yes, it's still, because it has to acknowledge that it, by its own nature, kind of takes away from the story in and of itself.
Yep.
Nah, not really.
A little. I'm not saying it's that much. I'm saying it's a little bit. But this book doesn't have that issue.
That's an opinion.
Why do I even bother? Why do I even bother?
You texted that yesterday.
Why do I even bother?
So anyway,
So
Collin, what have you done?
I watched. I can never remember how to say his first name. But I watched. Please help me.
I've never heard of Please Help Me.
Please help me say his name. Guy who
Guillermo del Toro.
Say it again.
Guillermo.
Fuck you,
Gay Elmo.
Fuck. Okay,
Guillermo.
so Guillermo del Toro. His Pinocchio. Fuck. Guillermo.
Hold on.
DiGiorno. I love how you guys normally try to help me say a name, but now you guys just like, and the time that I actually want to say a name right, you guys are like, yeah, Guillermo. Guillermo?
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro. Okay, so. Okay, stop.
Did you get it?
Guillermo del Toro's
There we go.
Pinocchio.
Incredible.
That's on Netflix. And so this is a different take on Pinocchio that I actually kind of enjoyed and kind of didn't. The things I enjoyed, for starters, is that it takes place in the Great War and then leading to World War II, if I'm correct. Because I know it's the Great War, which is World War One, but we're kind of getting we are getting Nazism, so it is World War II. I thought that was cool, and I really liked the angel that was like attached to this, like the idea of what's going on. Like eventually Pinocchio dies, like in the beginning of the movie, while he got ran over after running away from his dad, because everyone knows like the traditional Pinocchio story. It basically hits beat by beat, but the main thing that's in this movie is that like he dies and he comes back and he like comes alive in the world of the dead, the underworld, and he talks to this other angel or demon, whatever. I'm gonna call it an angel because it's an angel, and she's like, "Oh, you're not really dead. You'll just have to wait here for a little bit." And she tips over this like hourglass, and you'll just have to wait a little bit longer every single time. And I really liked that concept. That was really cool. I liked kind of like the spookiness, and I loved the art. I loved like the it's claymation-ish. It's stop motion. That much I do know. But is it claymation? Spencer, help me out. Spencer's giving me the cold shoulder.
As soon as I start talking about it, it's just going to turn into us talking about it. So you are on your own, buddy.
So my husband's pissed off with me.
It is your talking point.
Yeah, I guess. So I didn't really like it. I got pissed off. I'm a little bored of it. The only thing I liked about it was the underworld shit. And like I thought there was going to be more about that. Pinocchio is a piece of shit as normal. I liked that. I liked the cricket. I liked that he's voiced by Obi-Wan. And I like that the Papa is a dickhead, alcoholic bitch. Because I like those characters, because they usually like become this like better person or whatever. And I loved how they made fun of the Nazis and shit like that. Like the poo-poo in the army, I'll poo-poo for you, shit like that. That song was cool. Yeah, it's literally just Pinocchio, the same beats, except for that, like, everyone dies at the end, except for Pinocchio. Because eventually he becomes a real boy, but he's not a real boy. And then, because he saves everyone by coming back fast enough to save his dad and giving up his immortality, and he comes back, and then the angel is like, I can't bring him back. And the cricket's like, well, you said that you'd give me any wish if I helped the boy be a good boy. And then she's like, oh, I did say that. Okay, I'll bring him back. But we don't know if he'll live again, if he dies again. And so he just never died. He just sees everyone that he knows dies. And then he leaves. So, kind of boring-ish. I respect it, and I think it's still good. I know for a fact I'm not watching this ever again. In my opinion. It's boring to me.
Give it a rating.
So, for how much I enjoyed it, so personal rating, I'm changing it this time. Because I know that my opinion is the wrong for once. Like, I visually, I feel, I'm like, I really wanted to like this movie. I really wanted to. Because I like Guillermo del Toro's stuff. Like, I like all of the stuff. But
he likes the movie where the lady fucks the fish man.
Yes!
I like how you're like, I have the wrong opinion for once. Like, this is the first time I've been wrong.
Yes, because it is a fact that this is the first time I've been wrong.
He sounds like me, for real.
Yes.
I'm wrong, but this is why I'm wrong anyways.
Yes. I really wanted to like this movie, but I really don't. And I know it's the wrong opinion, so I'm giving it different ratings this time. For once.
What are the numbers?
The number
Personal personally, I would give it a 1, if that, out of 7. If that. But
That's a big but.
Because the pacing is actually good. The story makes sense. It's consistent. It goes back to a lot of like things it set up. It actually goes back to them. It's a good film, I think, but I just did not enjoy it in the slightest, except for maybe the underworld stuff. So for like just a rating on the movie itself, for like to tell people to watch it, I would give it a probably like a 3.5 out of 7, maybe a 4 out of 7.
Interesting. You have a fascinating method.
Thank you.
You should ask me what I've done.
Spencer, what have you... Jacob, what have you done?
So, I'm pulling out an old review that I wrote up a while ago. Way back in, like, Halloween time. Okay? I'm going to have you guess the movie I watched. I'll give you a clue.
Way back in Halloween time?
Halloween time. So, like, 2 months ago.
Yep.
1 month ago?
2.
How do numbers work?
October.
I watched a movie directed by and has music done by John Carpenter.
Whoa, John Carpenter?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. Spencer, get a guess?
See, the obvious answer is either going to be Halloween or it's going to be The Thing. It's The Fog, isn't it?
It's Big Trouble in Little China.
That's right. God damn it. I was trying to see how many layers of bluff you have.
I'm sorry that I'm not very appreciative of this, because I don't think I've seen any of those movies that he said.
Basically, John
gotta see
Carpenter is one of the let's say Alfred Hitchcock 2. If Alfred Hitchcock's so good, we're Alfred Hitchcock 2. His name is John Carpenter.
He said cock.
He is. Oh my fucking Christ! No wonder your taste in movies is so bad.
That's such a fucking lie, and you know it.
John Carpenter is one of the modern fathers of like horror cinema.
Oh.
He's like the goat. He's one of them goat boys.
Mm-hmm.
Big Trouble in Little China is
not a horror movie.
Cult classic. It is what I think of when people try to describe movies as cult classics, because this is a cult classic for sure.
What's it called again?
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Mm-hmm. It came out in 1986. I am confident.
Oh.
There's a character in here that I'm confident Mortal Kombat built Raiden around this character from this movie.
Probably.
It's the same hat. It's kind of the same electrical powers and everything. I was dying laughing watching this movie just because I was like, that's Raiden! I really liked how this movie had a lot of practical effects. There's like a street fight, and people are like just throwing other people around, and they're throwing people through like windows and doors and just wrecking the place. And it was a lot of practical sets and stuff that they could wreck. There's a lot of funny stunts in this movie during the fight scenes. I especially liked there's a guy with a 2x4 and it like somehow falls behind the other guy's head, and then the guy that was attacking with the 2x4 kicks the other guy and his head goes through the 2x4 that fell behind his head. I don't know. I saw it a while ago. I kind of forgot how it went, but it was a very funny stunt. Lots of funny stunts in these fights. It was clearly made by an experienced director. There's good cinematography. There's good shots, like, for paying attention. So there's one scene where Kurt Russell's looking out the window at the passersby as he's trying to figure out what to do, and a passersby goes by, and it was like, I don't know. I was paying attention to the passersby, and then the camera turns, and that passerby comes in the door. It was like the next part of the story. You could see the character coming down the street and then enter the room. my last note before I give my feels is that the bad guy is played by James Hong, Hong. That kind of sounded like hung, but it's not. It's Hong.
It's actually hanged, not hung.
I'm gonna choke you.
It's actually choke, not choke.
So they put a lot of makeup on him to make him look ancient and decrepit, and the makeup they put on him to make him look like that made him look worse than he looks like in present day now. Like, he was born in 1929. He's still alive, and he looks better than the makeup in 1986. Usually I'm big into the cult classics, but this one just does not tickle my fancy. And it should. I don't know why. It just bothers me. There's something about it where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't get the humor, maybe. I don't know. It's not for me. I can appreciate it. It's nice because it is one of the biggest names in the cult. But it's not for me. I would give it a solid 3 out of 5 stars.
Huh. So, what I've been reading...
What?
The sex manual that I slid under your door last night. I can hear you having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Just read the book.
I need it.
Someone literally wrote the book on this.
Spencer, what have you done?
So to be on theme with you two numbskulls, and something you think you should like, but you didn't really.
Ooh.
I know.
Good segue.
I read Thor Ragnaroks. It is.
I was trying to figure out how you connected Pinocchio and Big Trouble in Little China, but I see the connection.
I read Thor Ragnaroks, plural. It is a trade paperback collection that collects 3 different stories. They're all available in different trades. So the first one is Thor Blood Oath, followed by issues 80 through 85 of Thor. That's the 1998 run. And Stormbreaker, the Saga of Beta Ray Bill, issues 1 through 6.
Isn't Stormbreaker the Nazi chick from The Boys season 2?
No, that is Stormfront.
Oh.
Stormfront is the name of a Nazi newsletter, which is still in existence. It's online.
Research.
Yeah, you don't want to go there. The reason why it's called Ragnaroks, plural, is because the event, the series in the middle, issues 80 through 85, is the OG Thor Ragnarok, comic event / series, whatever. And all of these kind of have to do with the apocalypse. Honestly, I felt like this was one of the sloppiest collected editions I've read in a long time. So, Blood Oath was fine. Basically, Thor and his buddies are fucking retarded. They do something stupid, and then they have to go pay for it by going on a fetch quest. It was very dumb. It could have been worse, but it was really boring, and the art was pretty rough to look at. Common theme for this book. Ragnarok was really short. The art is passable. I'm not going to list off all of the various artists and writers. There's a lot of people involved in this, and I don't like singling people out that much, but serving as the first time that the Marvel Universe version of Thor and the Norse mythology kind of coming to a close through its Ragnarok cycle is cool, obviously. The mythology is really interesting. The way it recontextualizes a lot of stuff from actual religion and mythology is cool, but it really felt rushed in the back end. It felt like it plowed through it in 6 issues. It's not enough time. The last 2 basically felt like we were speedrunning the entire Star Wars saga. Like, it was a lot of stuff.
Speedrun strats.
Yeah, it's just way, way, way too short. If it was a few issues longer, it would have been at least a little higher. The art really does bring it down. It's also during one of the periods of time where Thor did not have a great voice. A good character voice can carry you through a bad book, whereas the character is on point, but the plot's bad or dumb or whatever. Mm-hmm. The writer clearly understands what it's like to have this character in your head or to be in their head. He didn't have that yet. The Thor had a long run of pretty rough stuff. And then the Saga of Beta Ray Bill is the second Beta Ray Bill storyline ? It takes place after Ragnarok. At the end of Ragnarok, Beta Ray Bill got Spartan kicked out the door. Thor's like, "No, you will live, blah blah blah," and then he goes on a side quest. it was fine. That was the highlight of the book, was because he's a far more interesting character than the way that this Thor is written during this time period. It was really boring and disappointing, but like the art was passable.
Sparta.
This, oh my gosh. So the book was a cover price of $35. It's a big book. It's like, some 18 issues. It's a good chunk, but I bought this for $10 off of Jacob, and that was pushing it, honestly.
No, you didn't. I forced it onto you.
This is okay. Yes, I forced it. I was robbed of $10.
I did not take his money.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
We knocked it off of the balance that I already owed you at the time. Yes, we did. There's some interesting ideas, but the art is very consistently mediocre at best. The design work is overly designed. The bodies are way too sculpture-esque. The action's bad. It's just not. It's not readable. It's not followable. It's boring. The worst thing a comic can be is boring. This is like clearance or for free if you're bored and you're curious. Like if you want to do a complete run of all Thor just for shits and giggles, knock yourself out. I can see why that would be important to you or whatever. But like, oh my gosh, one of the worst books I've read this year. I wanted to like it. I find the mythology cool. I like how many different times Thor has been reinvented in Marvel Comics, but holy shit. Not a fan. Jacob, I don't like you. You made me read this. After you read it and said basically the same thing.
I didn't even read it. I started each story and I was like, this is so boring. I'm not gonna finish this in time to talk about it this weekend.
Not good.
No. That's why I didn't realize I took your money. We'll have to work on that, because I would not have wanted to force that on someone. For money. For money.
I was about to say, you forced me to read a lot.
I'll force it on you for free.
Not good. Not good. Not good. Collin!
What else?
So I read...
more things you didn't like.
Yeah, I wish I liked this, too. Because I really liked the first issue. I read issue 2 of Halloween Boy by Dave Baker, because I recently bought the second and third one. So this comic takes place after the first one, obviously, and it just goes on an adventure of they're going to this planet, and they are helping this queen, helping this queen of this planet figure out what's going on in this random territory that just popped out of nowhere. In this territory, she has had sent, wow.
There's a first time for everything.
No. She sent reconnaissance to this territory for to study what it is, or what's going on. How did this just random territory just show up out of nowhere that it didn't exist before? And whenever someone went in there, they heard nothing from them. It's like they didn't exist.
Literally Bermuda Triangle moment.
Yes, it's Bermuda Triangle. And so Halloween Boy is helping her out because he was once her betrothed. Dun dun dun. And
is she hot?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, she's cute. She's
kind
attractive.
of hot.
Yeah, kind of.
Steamy.
I'd flirt.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I'd flirt.
Collin was telling me last night that he was flirting with a married woman at the restaurant.
I was not. I said that they thought I was, but I was just talking to her.
Was sitting right there do you want another drink? Do you want to go? We should leave.
Yeah, he was getting pissed off just because I was talking to his wife like she was a normal human being. Which I guess that's flirting now.
That is flirting.
I guess so.
Technically.
Yeah, I guess so. Immediately told Abby about that. She's like, fuck yeah. So it's a weird issue because it's supposed to be this whole dynamic that those two have, and they have a history, and they talk about it, but this brings up my first problem, is that Dave Baker is... I'm not trying to shit on him because I like his art a lot, but for some reason, as I keep going deeper into his comic, and I started noticing this more in the third issue, but in the second issue, he's a lot of tell, don't show. And I'm very much of a person who likes show, don't tell. I feel like there's too much exposition in this comic, and they just talk about the backstory, and yeah, there's like a panel of like, blah, 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 this is like what it looked like, but like, we're not shown that. And I'm like, why aren't we just showing this story or something like that? And so we go past that, and he's supposed to find her new betrothed. That was the one that went to search for something that's in there. And basically, it's this territory that's from this old planet that, they're like refugees from this planet that was enslaved by the planet that they are on now. Yes. And her betrothed is the leader of that enslaved planet. He is also one of those people that like were enslaved. And he doesn't want to be with her because he doesn't want to be a political tool. Even though he does actually genuinely love her and they genuinely love each other, but he does not want to be a political tool. Which makes little to no sense in how they, like, how it's written. Like, okay, right away that it makes sense. Like, it still can make sense for it to work if they are in love or whatever. It just felt a little forced for me. I really want you guys to read this, because it's not bad. It's just, I want to know if I'm retarded or not. I know I am, but I want to know...
On this topic.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And so, it just bothered me. So that's kind of just the whole story in itself. And it gets, like, figured out that Halloween Boy's just like, I will take your daughter to this safe place or whatever, even though we had no idea that you had a daughter and we only saw her for one panel. But and then you need to be with your betrothed, and blah, 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 for your races to be saved, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, So, I'm just going to list the things that I didn't like. The art style is consistent when it doesn't have to be. So here's my problem with this. So there's a specific design for Halloween Boy now. His mask is. He has like this whole like head mask, but his face is showing. So it's like a cowl, but his face is showing. But he has like the eye mask as well. So the Phantom, is that what it is?
Sure.
The Phantom. Spencer, help me out here. He's like all purple. The superhero's like all purple. He's like a Pulp Fiction superhero back in the day.
Cape, cloak, the shadow?
No.
Hat.
Purple. All purple. No hat. He has a cowl mask, but his face is showing, except he has mask.
Destroyer.
I don't know.
Wow, you guys don't know it. Well, this basically, Halloween Boy's based off of this Pulp Fiction superhero. Like this whole story is supposed to be like a Pulp Fiction-y character.
Galactus. He's all purple.
No. I think it's the Phantom. That's
Okay.
what I think it is. The Phantom.
Phantom Stranger.
So, shut up. So, I understand in art where, like, if something's small, you change the details of things. But, like, there are two panels. They're exact same size.
Yes.
And they're drawn same size.
Okay.
But both of them, the masks are different. Like, it's not a solid mask. It looks like it's glasses. Or, like, they're not connected. Like, the details like that. They're literally the same fucking size panel. Everything's drawn the same size. They're not the same. Why are they drawn differently? Just because you want to? That makes no sense. It's inconsistent. It takes me out. And it's sloppy. I'm sorry, Dave.
Dude, I
love
would
you.
love to be taken out and given some sloppy.
I hate you.
Yeah.
And then the panels at times, even though they're inconsistent with art, they look too much alike. Like, the actions of what they're doing, they look alike. And, it also seems like they're not showing enough of what's going on. Like, it seems like there's too much detail in such a small amount of space that it's like they kind of morph together. Like, the shades are not different. Like, say a manga's black and white, right? Like, I talked to you about this last night with a manga where panels, like, background's fully white. Like, if there's actions going on,
It's gonna be heavy black with like a little bit of gray around it.
Yes. So like if actions are going on,
Yes.
there's no background.
No.
There's no need.
No.
Because it's messy.
Yes.
You just show action, which is the darker color. Background is white, and then the foreground, like, or what's like the secondary of the action, like the other party of the action that's happening is like the lighter color.
Yes.
So you can distinguish what's going on. So there's like 3 colors that's going on. And that's what he's doing, is that like he's trying to work with that like 3 color thing, because it's like all black and white pretty much, except for like one solid, like one color that's acting like a shade. So he's just messy about it. And it's bothering me because I was inspired by him to do this type of thing with Space Adventure. And there's just so much. I'm just gonna fucking shotgun it. I have to reread it to see if I missed anything, but I haven't. They don't linger long enough between panels, and it's too fast, and it glosses over disturbing scenes. Like one time, this character, a main character, choked out a dude.
That's hot.
Because they're like, we need to kill this person. And then the good guy, that like one of our main characters, like, no, we don't do that. Get off. And then they walk away, and it's like, there's no like aftermath problem. Like there's no repercussions to this. It's just moving on to the plot.
So wait, a dude choked out another dude and told him to get off.
Yes.
Okay.
I know. First problem there. All the characters are visually interesting and are very different from each other, but they all talk the same. The dialogue's all the same. I cannot distinguish the dialogue, so I actually have to look at like where the bubble is pointed to. And that's all the stuff that really bothers me about this. Wow. And I'm really pissed off because I like this artist and I like the art. This comic book was rushed, and it feels like it's a Temple of Doom book.
How much did you spend for it?
$15.
How much would you suggest?
I would say that this should be like a $3 book. I feel like this should be a $3 book.
Wow.
I mean, he calls them issues, but they're like this thick. So yeah, they're just big issues.
Oversized?
Yeah, they're like oversized issues,
okay.
And they're $15 each. I'm still gonna keep reading this stuff because like I want it to get better, and like I really like the first comic, but I think he just got rushed, and it made me sad because I know he can do better. That was very harsh.
Have you found these in a store anywhere, or you're just ordering it online?
You can only order it through his website.
Dang.
At heybaker.com. heydavebaker.com. That felt like very rough and harsh, but that's just genuinely like how much it like upsetted me about this. Because of how like much praise I gave him before, and like the last time I talked about him.
You should ask me what else I should like but didn't.
What else should you have liked but you didn't?
I'm gonna break the trend, actually. I'm gonna do a re-review of something we've talked about right near the start of our show, actually.
Spencer looks tired.
I'm having a fucking aneurysm. What is it?
Why are you having an aneurysm?
Yeah,
Because of my whole spiel?
I'm trying to listen to words. What is it?
This episode comes out 2 days before Christmas, right?
Oh.
So, I reread Batman Noel.
Oh, wow!
It is by Lee Bermejo.
I love this
Arted
book.
and written by, I believe.
I love this book.
Yeah. This is a great book.
I love that super big clothes.
I'll save that part for the end. Yeah. I'm still kind of baffled by taking A Christmas Carol and inserting or changing it to fit Batman and Gotham, but it works out really, really well. There's so many layers to this story.
Like an onion.
Yes. Like a glass of... No, wait. I love that the Ghost of Christmas Past is Catwoman. There's good inflection there. A troubled past with Catwoman.
with the hot old outfit,
Yeah.
the furry suit.
And Batman is like, I'm sick of your shit, go away. And the Ghost of Christmas Present is Superman, and he's so warm and glowing. It even says in the book that he like emanates heat. Like he's such a good Christmas present.
I feel like he would emanate heat.
I mean, yeah, he's literally powered by the sun.
We all do.
No, but I mean like more. Than
Oh,
He, you know, those moments where I'm like, I'm a literal furnace because I'm a little warm and people notice. It's like that, but all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was snowing last night, and when you walked outside with no t-shirt on, you were steaming. So
It's true.
And then the Ghost of Christmas Future is the Joker. Baby.
Holy shit! It's the Joker,
baby.
Wow, the Joker's in this book. That's never happened.
And it does well to have a scary, mean Christmas future ghost. It
wouldn't have been so effective if
it was
Condiment King was killing Batman and putting him in his own grave. That wouldn't have been scary. And
I think it takes a little bit for you to warm up to the idea, or at least for me. Like, it's really weird mixing these two stories together, and then by the time the Joker is the Ghost of Christmas Future, it's like, that makes perfect sense. Like, this whole it like brings the whole book together, and it's like, yeah, this works. This is crazy how well this works. It kind of uses the Christmas Carol as like an ADR voice, and like it's just a voiceover, and it's just Batman out on patrol, like doing Batman things, and the dialogue boxes, the narration.
It's provided
is the
by
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's through the voice of I don't remember the character's name, the one who's taking the place of Bob Cratchit in the story. Because he's telling the story to his boy.
I couldn't. Yeah.
The little bad guy.
Yeah.
Little bad guy. That's not a bad guy. He's just forced to work for Joker.
Right, and Batman beat the shit out of him, and a couple of times actually, I think.
Yes, Batman does that.
Yeah.
Batman loves beating up the poor.
So I found this book for $20. It is hardcover at Stairway to Heaven Comics.
There still are no paperback copies, and it's driving me insane.
It's a short drive.
Off of a long pier. Because you swerve.
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. There are a couple of times that the artwork is not that great. We've seen better from Lee Bermejo in later books. He improved as he drew more and more and more Batman.
Booba. Okay.
So you're just going to read this like every year now because Christmas?
Maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
He rolled his eyes like, wow, it's so basic white bitch.
I actually just blinked really hard.
A Christmas Carol at Christmas time. What do you, light scented candles too and put a sweater on and sit by the fire and drink hot cocoa?
Yeah, that's my job. You're not allowed to take that away from me.
I'm so. Oh wait, this comes out before Christmas. This episode.
Yes.
Ah. I don't have a Christmas. I didn't have a Christmas.
This is the only Christmassy thing he's had.
I know, but it would have been cool because it would have been cool to talk about like Batman the Animated Series or something like that.
Spencer,
what have you been jerking off to?
Take us home.
West Virginia is not my home. See, I did what you were thinking of doing because I'm better than you. I watched Batman and Mr. Freeze SubZero.
Ooh.
Which is an animated feature film, which is basically just
How the fuck did I call it? Like, weirdly, like...
Because I mentioned when I did it. I was talking about it in the group chat.
Oh.
I didn't fucking read it.
I implanted the idea in your brain.
I thought that was just regular animated series.
Yes and no.
When you were shitposting.
SubZero is animated series.
It's a movie.
Animated
like a special.
series.
Yeah, no shit. I thought
it's not a special. It's just the animated series.
Movie special. not TV show.
It's still the same
Yes.
shit from the TV show.
But it's not a 20-minute episode. It's longer. It's
No.
a special presentation, isn't it?
No, they just took it and put it into a movie.
If we keep going like this, Spencer will actually kill himself.
So
You
it's
see,
not
I'm
an
the one
actual
who's actually
movie.
watched it, so maybe I should
I
fucking
was
talk about it.
trying to ask the question, and
it's not.
Gaylord kept correcting me.
But it's not.
It is a feature film that received a theatrical release, but it is about 3 or 4 episodes of the animated series stitched together. This was
Suck
one.
my nuts.
That's what I fucking said!
It was effectively a few episodes, so a few episode arc that they said, hey, we've had a couple of theatrical releases already. Wouldn't it be cool? So they did it. And that's simultaneously the coolest and worst thing about this.
Get it? Cool.
I hate you.
I know.
Mr. Freeze in Batman the Animated Series is one of the best characters, and it's also one of his best one of the best reinventions of a Batman villain, just in general. What?
Did you know that this Mr. Freeze is designed by Mike Mignola?
Yes, I do. His previous appearance in his reintroduction episode of BTAS, I do believe, is a better appearance, but this as a finale to his arc within this show, as well as a complete package, does make for a decent watch. The fact that it's about 70 minutes long means it is a little underwhelming as a feature, unlike Mask of the Phantasm, which was always planned to be a full theatrical release, and was much closer to a regular runtime of a theatrical release, in addition to being given additional budget and then thrown in theaters. This was definitely as an afterthought. Like, they really did just have like a few scripts lying around, and they're like, we can make a movie out of that. And they did it, and that's fine.
Someone made like a poster for every single episode, kind of like that, and they're gorgeous. I love them.
The biggest complaint I have about this is kind of a minor one, but it is just a peeve of mine. The additional budget given to this to make it into a theatrical movie was not even really placed to smooth over like the episode lines between scripts. It's still pretty roughly chopped up in sections that read like individual episodes of the series. They threw it all at the 3D model budget, and I fucking hate it. This movie opens up with like 10 minutes of just 3D icebergs and cars, and I absolutely despise it. It looks like crap, and especially when it's when the 2D images are composited on top of it, it looks abysmal. It's aged so piss poorly. The rest of it looks great. It's just those rare times when they're like, what if we put a 2D Robin inside of a 3D plane? And I go, that's disgusting, and it just lingers on it for way too fucking long. Everything else about this is great. The character designs are, of course, normal BTAS stuff. They're unique. They're easy to read. They work well with action. The character voices are unique. The voice acting is phenomenal. Barbara Gordon is simultaneously a little bit of a damsel in distress, but is also given a lot of agency throughout the story. So instead of just being captured because she's needed for the plot, which she is, she maintains her composure throughout her entire stay with Mr. Freeze. She fights back. She basically escapes on her own, and she works collaboratively with Batman and Robin. It's just really good stuff. Barbara Gordon is one of my favorite Bat Family characters. She's in like the top 3 by a long shot. The other complaint I have about this is it definitely feels like you should have watched some of BTAS to be able to understand the dynamic in this movie, because this movie does not spend any time establishing whether or not Batman and Robin and Batgirl know each other, / do they know each other's secret identities. It's very vague and loosey-goosey, because Barbara Gordon is kidnapped, and then they find out about it because she's Barbara Gordon, the commissioner's son, commissioner's daughter, and Dick's girlfriend. It's really vague. If you watch it in chronological order alongside the animated series, everything is made clear, but just as a standalone piece, that kind of falls to the wayside, and I think that's a waste.
That last one was not Michael.
I know. I can tell.
It's brief. It's to the point. It's aged pretty well. The only thing is there's a little bit of a weird child sidekick character who's a bit of a caricature of an indigenous person. It's a little weird. Other than that, it's good. It's really nice conclusion to Mr. Freeze's arc. He quote unquote dies. He gets to live off in the cold wilderness somewhere with his polar bear babies. And Nora has been saved and brought back to life, and she's all good and happy and dandy. It's just good. This should not have been a theatrical release, though. That's a complete utter fucking waste. This should have just been like a 3-episode arc. There is no need to put this in a theater because it doesn't really work well.
I remember the trailers for this on my VHS tapes as a kid.
I remember the toys. The advertisements during that time period were fucking insane.
Yes. What would you rate it?
I don't know, dude. Like a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
It's good. It's just missing a lot. It's underdeveloped.
You know what is not missing a lot? Stop touching my leg lightly. It's turning me on.
That was not lightly. Ew! Why are your feet so warm?
How did you let me do that? How did you let me rest my foot on you for so long?
I was hypnotized by the
Warmth.
emanating warmth of your filthy feet.
Do you know what is not missing a lot? Jetpack Comics and Games in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire has it all. They are friends of the show. We help each other out and do stuff and things for each other, and it is a cool working relationship. We encourage you to go to Jetpack and buy all of your toys and games and comic needs there.
They don't sell
Weed.
the lightsabers from under your mom's bed. Not those toys. The other toys.
The
I
toys
would-
that are under my bed.
Yes,
I
under Collin's bed.
would not be surprised if they had something hidden in the back room.
Wow.
I mean, they got all kinds of other toys. They gotta have something.
Bro, they downsized their porn comic collection. There's no
That's
way
true.
they have toys.
That's so sucky.
You're sucky.
Like, you ever had the balls to browse that? You wouldn't even look at it.
No, I did.
Sure.
From afar.
Wow.
With binoculars.
See,
Yeah.
I would just take one of them and then put it inside the issue I was actually looking at and buying, and then I would put it back when I was done. I'd
That's
wander around the
smart.
store and be like, da 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 da
You're
da,
smart.
and then, yeah, I'm so fucking smart. As if they didn't see that.
Degenerate.
Oh, absolutely.
You know who else is degenerate? Degenerates.
The people who pay us money are patrons over at patreon.com/dimecomicbros network. Go give us money. We like money. It's cool. Thank you very much, you losers.
He did know the degenerates. But he did not name them. They pay to be named. Jeff
Caitlin
Lorenz.
and Jeff Fafa.
Jeff Lorenz and then Caitlin. Not Caitlin and then Jeff
Jeff-
Lorenz.
Jeffy
Jeff was
boy.
here first, and Caitlin was second.
And Kaylin and Jeffy Boy.
If you would like to get your name shouted out on all of our episodes, as well as exclusive access to Dime Comic Bros Happy Hour, basically our shitposting podcast where we talk about God knows what, have a
I thought
drink.
that's what we were doing already.
It gets worse. It gets much, much worse. As well as early access to all of our episodes. So all the podcasts for all the episodes of the Dime Comic Bros and Dime Gaming Bros podcast, which is our other podcast that Jacob and I do once a month,
Huh?
about games, video games.
I need to binge the shit out of the TV show.
I think it's only 11 episodes, and they're all like 15 minutes long, so
I've
you'll be
seen
fine.
one.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We have like 3 weeks. Arcane.
The League of Legends Netflix TV show.
I heard it's really good, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be involved with League of Legends at all.
That is.
I don't think it has
That's
anything
fair.
to do with
It has
League of
very. It
Legends.
has very little to do with it, but he is true because League of Legends is just.
Toxic.
It's no. It's like borderline Smash Bros levels of pedophilia. It's just fucking insane.
I like the mobile game.
Wow.
Well, I would actually put League of Legends higher than Smash Bros.
By a little.
They
Which-
are the literal
which Smash Bros?
kitten and
Why would you say Why would you say that word? Oh, she's my little Discord kitten.
yeah, Discord kitten and Discord. That is them, League of Legends.
Spencer and Collin got me a microphone for Christmas, and now I can become a
Discord kitty.
a Twitch cat girl.
Oh my fucking word.
I will subscribe to your Twitch channel.
I would also subscribe to your Twitch account and your OnlyFans.
You
That's
want
fine. I'll do-
pictures of my feet?
No!
Yes.
No! If you're gonna be a cat,
I
Mustache.
have no ass to take pictures
If
of.
you're gonna
It'll
be a-
have to be my feet.
if you're gonna be a cat boy, then it has to be with the butt plug with the tail. Duh!
Oh fuck!
No,
Oh fuck!
no.
Stop!
I am-
Stop! It's too much now. It's too much for me.
I am not Tails from Sonic and Tails.
Oh my fuck!
But you are Knuckles.
Oh my fucking word! No! Bye bye.
Next episode is going to be our New Year's special. It's just going to be us going over the cool, fun stuff we did this year, highlights, lowlights,
Oh yeah.
spotlights on negative things, whatever. Just a bunch of fun shenanigans. It'll probably be a bit of a short one. Some memes and stuff. So it'll be a ball. Uganda Knuckles will show you the way.
That is what you two were doing. You were driving me crazy all day long.
Were we?
Yes.
I don't feel like we were. I feel like we're just talking.
2 tickets to Barbie, please.
For real.
Yes.
I'm going to bonk Collin in the dick. Hey baby, you know what's sexy? Hermeneutics.
I got very uncomfortable when she said, "Oh, Colin will be like, good job, mommy." Now it's on here and she can hear it.
That was funny.
Makes you uncomfortable. Makes me uncomfortable because she's younger than me.
But not mentally though. You're like baby brain. Colin, you were just screaming about mama for like 2 hours straight.
I am
You
literally
do not-
Jack.
You have baby brain. You do not get to claim that people are younger than you.
He's so butthurt that his toes are spread all out. Like, none of them are touching each other because he was so upset.
You know that's
They were
what
all
toes
spread
are.
out.
Legit, actually.
I'm legit.
You know that's what toes are actually supposed to do.
Yes,
right?
I do know. Yeah, your toes,
Aren't
because...
supposed to touch each other?
No, because you're...
Yeah,
It's because of your shoes.
Mm.
yeah, it's because
and
of what we
ever
do. to our
since
hair.
No, it's because I always have my toes balled up under me.
Well, that too.
Oh, I do that!
Yeah, all the time.
Like, when I play video games, I'm trying to be like...
Yeah.
and it, like, hurts so bad, but, like, it feels so good.